Over time, as the unit is moved around, the device can start to lose accuracy. To verify the current accuracy of the device, a scan of a calibrated artifact can be used. This video will demonstrate the procedure for compensating the cobalt to bring the device back to maximum accuracy or immediately upon changing lenses. For maximum accuracy, the unit should be compensated in a temperature environment similar to that of the measuring environment. Lay calibration plate carrying case on a flat surface. Unsnap clips to unstrap the case. Lift off the top of the case. Take the calibration plate out and set it on a flat surface with the white dots facing upwards. Be careful to not touch the white dots. Remove the top foam layer. Underneath will be the calibration certificate as well as the calibration position templates. Next, remove the calibration plate stands. Choose the calibration position template for the corresponding lens set that you'll be using. Each template has a notation for which lens set it is to be used. For example, 250 mm or 500 mm. Place the calibration template on a flat surface, roughly 400 mm from the front edge of the imager to the start line on the template, with the number 1 line closest to the imager. Use some tape to tape down the corners of the calibration template so it does not move during the calibration process. Now, take the calibration dot plate stands and place one on each end of the dot plate. The serial number of the plate is at the top. Note, when putting on the stands, a minor amount of force may be needed to put them on. However, take careful note to ensure you don't touch the white dots of the calibration plate. Ensure that each calibration plate stand is flush on both sides, and when the calibration plate is raised to sit on the table, that the bottom of the calibration plate is flush with the calibration plate stand. Place the calibration plate on the calibration template start line, with the vertical white line on the center of the dot plate placed on the center gray line of the calibration template. Ensure the device is powered on and connected in the software. The unit should be allowed to warm up at least 15 minutes before starting the compensation procedure. Next, click Utilities in the Cobalt dialog window. Once the Utilities dialog appears, click Functions followed by Calibrate. This will open the Cobalt compensation routine. Ensure the correct dot plate file is selected. The number seen in the compensation window should match the serial number on the back of the dot plate. If the dot plate file is incorrect, click Add Dot Plate to navigate to the correct location and select the most recent FTP file for the respective dot plate. Next, verify that the correct lens volume is chosen. Lastly, choose either Quick Mode or Full Mode for the compensation routine. Quick Mode allows for the compensation to be performed at an abbreviated number of positions. However, no accuracy is lost. At this point, the cobalt's crosshairs have been activated and can be used to place the cobalt in the correct position for compensation. First, make sure the cobalt is level and is facing directly at the compensation plate. Then, place the cobalt so that the crosshairs are directly in the center of the dot plate. You may have to move the tripod side to side and/or up and down. At the moment, this will only modify and set these two directions. This can be done by adjusting the pan and tilt on the tripod. Once the crosshairs are located in the center of the calibration dot plate, use the screen on the computer to fine-tune the distance of the cobalt to the dot plate. The cobalt is at the optimum calibration distance when the crosshairs are inside the red square. Note, if the crosshairs cannot be seen clearly, hold a white sheet of paper directly in front of the calibration plate. To verify that the cobalt and the dot plate are in the correct position, the dot plate can be moved to the closest position and then to the furthest to ensure the crosshair is in the exact same position on the dot plate. Once this distance between the Cobalt and the calibration plate have been set, click Start on the screen. This first step will take a scan of the dot plate in the start position. Once this is completed, the instructions on the screen will tell you to move the dot plate to position number 1. Once the dot plate has been moved, press Continue. This will take an additional scan, and this will be the same procedure for all required scans. Note, after each scan, the calibration dot plate is moved to its corresponding position with vertical line on the bottom of the dot plate lined up with the center gray line on the calibration position template. If at any point in time the message Unstable Fringe Image Capture appears, make sure that neither the Cobalt or the dot plate are moving and that nothing is moving near the back side of the dot plate. Any physical movement in the dot plate or the Cobalt, or any movement sensed by the camera behind the calibration dot plate, can be interpreted as movement during the scans. If this occurs, click OK, and then click Continue to take another scan at the same position. Do not move the calibration plate until that particular step has been completed. Once all required scans have been completed, the software will process the data. Press Exit to accept the calibration results and end the calibration procedure.